just give me chills. That last little part, man, I was like, oh man. Welcome to Town Talk. I'm your host, Mr. Town himself. And tonight we have the multi-talented, just award-winning songwriting, music sync, composing, the lovely Brianna Shelko. How you doing?
Hello. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. And what a great
Yeah,
introduction.
yeah, man. I've been excited to have you on. We've been going back and forth for a very long time. Brianna does a lot. She's always moving. Her and her team, Level Up, is always doing things all across the country and globally as well. So yeah, I'm just glad that you gave us the opportunity because I know how busy our schedule is.
Yeah, no, we love interviews. We love talking to people. We'll shake hands, kiss babies any day. So thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So let me give you a little bit about Brianna. She stands at the forefront of the sync songwriting scene, seamlessly blending creativity and business acumen to redefine the landscape of custom white label songwriting camps. As the driving force behind Level Up Music Productions, she has successfully positioned the company as the go-to destination for bespoke musical composition, providing an innovative approach to meet the unique needs of libraries, film studios, TV, and beyond. As the visionary force behind Level Up Music Productions, she has not only written over 20,000 hours worth of music, but has also crafted more than 500 songs, solidifying her reputation as a prolific and influential figure in the music industry. In a recent accolade that marks a significant milestone in the illustrious career, Rihanna clinched her first Hollywood Independent Music Award for the emotive masterpiece, Praying for the Rain. This recognition serves as a testament to her ability to infuse profound emotion into compositions, leaving indelible marks on listeners and industry professionals alike. At the core of Rihanna's success, her commitment to excellence and a relentless pursuit of cutting edge musical solutions. Leveraging Level Up, Brianna has pioneered a model that brings together top tier songwriters from diverse corners of the globe. This unique collaborative approach not only ensures a rich tapestry of global influences, but also enables the creation of music that resonates universally. Yeah, she does a lot, and the list goes on and on and on. I know since I've met her, um, she's won a lot of awards. She's been nominated for a lot of awards. So yeah, Brianna, thanks for having us.
Of
Let's
course.
let's get into it. Yeah, like
Let's
so,
do it.
where'd you get your start from?
Well, I mean, this is going to be such a cliche answer, but I was born to do this. It wasn't something I decided to do. It was something I
Mm-hmm.
came out the womb doing, and I there was literally never anything else. It was always
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I may not be able to do it full time right now because I have to pay my bills, but I'm going to do it full
Mm-hmm.
time one day. It's going to be everything. And I'm
Mm.
proud to say today it is everything. It is what I do full time, and it's uh, it's been a very long journey. But
Yeah.
that my start was from my mother's womb. I mean, to answer your question, and I guess I wrote my first official like song, fully fledged song when
Mm-hmm.
I was 7 years old, and then it was up from there.
That's a while. Yeah. And
Yeah,
see, that's
it's been a
funny because
while.
you did it at 7. I did
Yeah.
it at 9.
Ayo.
Yes.
The kids club.
I'm telling you, yeah, that's so. Where did you grow up at? Like, tell us about your upbringing.
Yeah, so I was born in Providence, Rhode Island, and then when I was, I was pretty young. My parents moved us to Georgia, and I grew up in this little town called U Harley. And I
Mm.
mean, when we moved here, I don't even know how many people U Harley had, but it was not many. It was so little, and it was just like this
Hmm.
the tiniest little town. When you talk about Atlanta, the people are like, "Where's U Harley?" Like, "Where's
Right,
that
right, right. Because I'm
at?"
sure, like, I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, it's just this tiny little like town. It's got a lot of history. Like we have this thing called the Covered Bridge, and you gotta go. It's like that's where you take your pictures for prom and for senior graduation photos. And my upbringing was both my parents are entrepreneurs. My dad's a small business owner. My mom's always been on the corporate in the corporate field. Like she's an executive HR of like 30 something years. So she's always been on flights across the world and stuff like that. So I got a nice balance of like corporate and growing multi-million-dollar companies, and then I got the homegrown small business learning from my dad, who's ran a successful company now for over 30 years, and it's always fed us. So that was we're an Italian household. So
okay. So it's hard workers right there. I know all about that. I was raised by my stepfather was half Italian, so I know. Yeah, trust me, I know.
Do you know
hard
what
working.
part of Italy? Do you know what part he's from?
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't know where.
We might be cousins.
I know, right? Somewhere down the line, hey, that's where that hustle comes from.
Yeah. No, it really is. There was so my growing up was unique because it was never an option to be lazy. It was always okay. They would my parents were constantly infusing my creativity. Like they were finding, like they let me, I'm going to finish this thought, but I wanted this pink jacket, and there's stories about this pink jacket when I was like 8 years old. I just wanted this freaking jacket so bad. Like, Nate, I wanted it bad, okay? But my parents, we didn't have, I wanted it bad, okay? My parents didn't have millions of dollars to just go, I mean, we, humble, just, hardworking people, we didn't have a lot of extra. So that certainly was not what, I didn't need a jacket right then. I was clothed, I was taken care of, but I didn't need that jacket. So my parents said, well, you're going to have to earn it. So at 8, I started my jewelry company, which is we're a long line of jewelers. And I started making bracelets, and I taped them in this book and walked around the neighborhood and like would flip the pages, and you'd see you would see bracelets and necklaces.
That was a catalog book back in the day.
It was a catalog back in the day. And my mom helped me go to Hobby Lobby to get all the pieces and stuff. And so I learned like what it was like to learn about cost versus retail at 8.
Yeah.
And I earned $400 that summer, and I was able to put some back into my savings account. And then I bought the jacket.
Wow. You're like, I got it. See?
That's my upbringing.
And that's the beginning of the hustle. That is the beginning of learning how to make a dollar, learning how to earn your keep. So that's impressive. Pulling out catalog books at an early age and like, damn.
I was cute back then too. I walked neighbor to neighbor. I was like, would you buy my
like Girl Scout cookies, just bracelets.
I was like, I made this one. It has a starfish on it, like.
It's like, we'll just give her $1. Just give her some money, y'all. Yeah.
That's really what my mom, oh my God, I hustled my mom so hard because she worked at this big government like jet company. So they were like, I can't disclose who it was, but it was like a big, they had private jets everywhere. And I was like, will you take it there and sell some of my jewelry? I was like recruiting her to be my salesperson.
You was trying to.
I was turning some coins, and then like,
he was really trying to get that money.
My mom was like, "What about my commission?" Because like the one thing my parents never did is they never BS'd me. Like even at 8 years old, it was not like, Brianna, we're going to do this because it's a favor to you. And they weren't strict. It was just, I'm so grateful for how I was raised, because even at 8, I understood what a commission was. And if you're going to take someone else's time and efforts away from what they're doing to earn money, like they earn a commission, So it's like, it was great.
Wow.
I don't think I ever paid my mom. I think she felt bad. I don't think.
She'll get it later on. Eventually, she will get it.
She get it now, Mama. See,
she get it now. She get it now. Yeah, well, there you go. So tell us about how you finally transitioned into being that younger songwriter into being a like a more adult entrepreneur songwriter. Like, and tell us how Level Up started.
Yeah, I mean, The transition was pretty easy. I mean, once a songwriter, always a songwriter. So, I mean, my songs got better, that's for sure. My
Mm-hmm.
first official song was called Hi Hi Hi. It was about a boy in elementary school who I had a crush on. So my song certainly got better.
Right, right,
And so moving into teenage years, I just sang about more boys, but I did it in a much better way and better production.
right, right, right.
I worked at Arby's, so I could afford to go to a recording studio every now and then and like get professional instrumentalists on my song and stuff like that. So that's what I would do. And then moving into the where Level Up came from it does stem from a significant part of my my songwriting history. Like, you know, we didn't, like I said, we came from humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
My parents certainly didn't have like an extra $2,500 to send me to Nashville for like some of those big songwriting camps, and you get to meet
Right.
everybody, and that's the jump start of most of people's careers. Like, you know how much those
Yeah.
camps cost. Like,
Yeah.
whether it's in Atlanta, you're writing for whoever, like they charge an
Mm-hmm.
exorbitant amount of money. And so I was never able to go. And I feel strongly that if I was able to get in those rooms when I was younger, this would be a
Mm-hmm.
very different conversation.
Right, right, right.
Because
Absolutely.
I could outright a lot of people in those rooms, even at a young age. If I couldn't, I was going to go home and pencil until I could.
Yeah.
And so where Level Up kind of came from was, you know, I wanted to provide opportunities for singer-songwriters like me who are super talented, but they may not have $1 million to go and, you know, win a popularity contest. Essentially, it's like, you should be in the room because that's what you did, because you deserve to be in the room.
Yeah.
It's because of your talent. It's not because of, you know, whose uncle's baby mama, somebody like they got $1 million. You got a rich uncle somewhere. They tossed $1 million. Look, that stuff happens every day. Good for them. But for the vast majority of the rest of us, we want to do things that will, one, allow us to do our craft and our art and make a living. And that a lot of that is sync songwriting, TV, film, that kind of the bigger budget items if you're not going to be like a performer, you know.
Right.
So that's where Level Up came from, and it started as a nonprofit. And so yeah, we're a 501(c)(3), and
I didn't know that. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, we have. Let me not trip you up though. We do have a for-profit Level Up.
Okay.
So Level Up Music Productions is our for-profit. Level Up Songwriting Camps Corporation. All the sync songwriting camps you see us do, that's nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why I made it a nonprofit is because it's truly giving back to the community, and I want to keep it that way, and I want it to grow, and I want it to keep giving back to the communities that we go to. So we take the top 10 writers in each city that we go to, and we give them the opportunity to write to this brief that we got from a supervisor with us, and then we fly. Most of the time, we have the supervisor there, you know, and it's just opportunities that are deserved, not paid for necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
So what made you like want to do? Let's see. So I know you wanted to do the songwriting, you want to contribute to the cause and all that. What made you want to make it bigger than what it is? I mean, then because I'm guaranteeing that it's a lot bigger than what you thought it was going to be, just by what I've seen. You know, in the year of us knowing each other, it's huge and it's been global already. It looks like you guys had went. I think it was over to Europe or somewhere too long ago.
Yeah, we went to Abbey Road Institute, and it was we held our first trailerized camp there, which was sheesh. I mean, that was amazing. That was such a great experience for the team and also for the writers. So, so I'm sorry. Your base question was what again? I'm like squirrel.
So with that being said, like, how did he get that big? Like, you know, what shifted from it just being okay? We got this company, the songwriting camp, and to going global. And, you know, what contributed to it getting that big so fast, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give all kudos to my team for that. So we started bringing people on, like, I mean, Chris, our head of production, is amazing. Mama C is amazing. Kayla is amazing. Justin is amazing. Sean's amazing. Marcus is amazing. Like, everybody that we have on the Level Up team is super critical. Like Sean it like is our EVP of strategic partnerships. I mean, there's just everybody plays such a vital role, and without everyone's effort, it would only be me hustling this by myself, and that it just would have stayed about this big. So when it went from zero to hero is when Brianna set down her own expectations of herself and got realistic and said, you need a team. Yeah. And so Mama C, with all of her HR executive recruit, like she went out and found the people, and we have been working together as a unit to make it grow. And that is how it became. I mean, once we were all aligned on vision, mission, like it went from 0 to 100. There's things I can't talk about right now, but we've accomplished some serious feats this year, and I can't wait until it becomes public news. But all of it is because the team has like full force went and looked for opportunities. Now, specifically to Europe, that happened because I had a dream.
Okay.
I had a dream. I had a dream that we went to London, and when I have these dreams, sometimes they're primitive, and sometimes they're just like, Brianna, what did you eat before bed? So I'll tell you about another dream that we have coming up. But a lot of the time, like my faith, like I believe that my dreams are exposing like where I should go next, and where the team should go next. So I had a dream that we went to London, and I called Mama C and I was like, I think we're going to London. And she was like, how are we going to ever afford that? Because the nonprofit we're not profiting. It's like we come out of, most of my savings account is gone. It's been donated to the nonprofit.
You donated.
I've been donating to the nonprofit since it was a nonprofit. I love how people are like, oh, she must have funding. My savings account.
That's my funding.
That's my funding. And then I guess it's like it's funny, like when you just start walking in it, and then all of a sudden Abbey Road Institute popped up into my feed, and I was like, that's where we're supposed to go. I wonder if they would sponsor studio time, and I wonder if they would allow us to work with their students. And then boom, it all happened. Darren Suckling from Abbey Road Institute was like, absolutely. I mean, the kindness over there is just, Nate, I have been turned down, but I can't even tell you how many studios who will not be named on this interview. They would not donate anytime. Maybe they just can't, and that's okay. Maybe they're not in a position to, but I've never just reached out and they were like, yes, come. And so we were like,
off the rip.
It was like no question. It was literally, come, we would love to have you. Come use our institute, and you'll be in Angel Studio too. And I was like, well, okay, I guess we're going.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that at all. Wow.
So I got to tell the team we had funding to take. We had just enough funding for me, my head of production, and Mama C to go, and so we did.
So what was the outcome? How'd it go?
Oh my God, amazing. I have a link I can send it to you, but our London Trailerized songs are done. The writers were crazy. It was like we had some from like North Ireland come to the camp, and then we had a lot of like the top Abbey Road Institute like students came and joined, which was so, for that, like they knew the place, they knew, like it was like having the best tour guides and the best talent. It was it was
all
great.
in one, huh?
We got so lucky. We got so lucky. And I mean the results were great. The songs are fire. So
break it down. How many?
I said, here's the placements.
Placements,
Yeah, we're just gonna speak it out.
Right. So tell us how the breakdown is on your songwriting camps. Like, what's the process? How does it work?
It's a secret.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought I could, kind of just, what if I had, what if I wanted to bring you to Kansas City or something like that?
You just got to talk to me offline. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, honestly, I'll give you
some tidbits, at least something.
I was like, I'll give you some tidbits, but we do keep it really under wraps, because our songwriting experience, we don't even call it a camp. Our songwriting experiences are 1 in a million. They don't exist anywhere else. I don't care what camps say that they do what. It's nothing like. I designed everything that I wanted growing up into one single day of an experience.
Really?
And if you've watched that video,
the whole one.
that I want, right? Like there's a lot of hard work. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. If you want to bring us to Kansas City, we will go. We'll talk about it, but
Yeah, I could probably make that happen pretty
I was like,
easy.
we can do that. I would actually love to go to Kansas. There's been a few, which is bizarre. You're like the third person who've said Kansas. I've only been to Kansas once in my life, and I'm like, okay, so I guess we're going to Kansas. We're fine with it. We're fine with it. Just no tornadoes.
Right. That's what I don't know why everybody. That's the first thing that pop up in everybody's mind, but I get it. I do get it. So with
Yeah.
that, at least okay. So
We have an audition
and this is
process.
just for me. Like, how long normally is a songwriting one of your songwriting camps?
Yes.
Like, how many
and
days?
That's a good question. It's one day. We're not going to waste anyone's time. Yeah. It's a 1 day, 12-hour experience, and we leave with 14 songs fully fleshed. Yeah.
Wow.
Usually, and sometimes more. We have done a 2-day camp, and we've left with 42 songs in 2 days. So, yeah, 2 12-hour days. So it depends who's in the room, and it depends what it's for. But yeah, the majority of our camps are 12 hours. They're 1 day in the city. The one thing that I say to songwriters is be very careful of the multi-day camps. It's not that like they're bad or anything. It's just like, are you getting paid to be there?
Right.
Or are you paying, right? Or are you paying a bunch of money to be somewhere for multiple days? And if that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, know your value as well. Like, that's what we advocate for. That's why it's a 1 day, unless it's a paid camp and it's from custom. Yeah, it's like, I'm not taking more than 1 day of your time. I believe your time is worth paying you for. We're a nonprofit and we don't have the funds yet, but when we do,
right,
we will pay for your time. So
even when you get the funds, will it still be 1 day?
Now that could change. Now we could, but where it changes is we're going to pay them. So we're paying them for their time. Okay. So even if it's more than 1 day, I don't feel like I'm wasting their time. Because here's the thing. Some of these camps go on for 2 or 3 days. They never place. They never place. No one ever sees a dime from it. And I mean, we're kind of stuck in there too. I mean, we haven't placed as a camp yet. It's going to happen much sooner than later now.
Most definitely.
Since the strike and everything, we kind of went into this at a bad time. But now that we have a lot of material, it's so much easier to pitch, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's 1 day, 12 hours. We have an audition process or an application process. No, we do not charge people to apply. That is the most... Anyway.
That's a hustle. That's what I remember when people used to, and you probably remember it too. Back in the day, you submit anything they wanted to tap a fee on there. You know, it's like, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't like that. And look, everybody has their own methodology of how they do things and how they got to earn their money. I'm not trying to knock anyone's hustle, but I am going to talk about things that maybe others wouldn't talk about. Because I'm a songwriter first.
Yeah. And you're a business owner. At the end of the day, when you own a business, it's not as like hard to talk about things because you kind of run your own show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is for me. Like I'm very outspoken because I'm like, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I own my own thing. You know what I'm saying? This is my thing.
I can't stand. You know, there's some things that I'm just like, there's some red flags that I try to advocate against. Like if you see a camp doing X, maybe ask them more questions. It's not that they're a bad camp. It's not that they mean well or mean harm to you. It's just like, make sure you ask, like, what's going on. And I mean, our camps, the paperwork is done before they get in the room. If they don't sign it, they don't come. If they feel, we would never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. If you don't like our terms, and we usually have an entertainment attorney in the rooms. So if you don't like our terms, then don't go. I would never force you to go and experience something that you don't want to experience at this point in your life. Like if you don't feel comfortable with anything, I will say the majority of camp attendees have no problem with our splits. We're really fair. We like to give a front and a back. But yeah, I mean, it's it's a really cool experience. You should bring us to Kansas. You should see what's going on.
Kansas City. See, that's how I know you haven't been in this part of the country. Like people always say Kansas. I actually am in Missouri, which is right next door, but people
Oh,
get caught up on the Kansas part of it. It's all good. It happens all
okay.
the time. They even have
Gotcha.
performers that perform here and say, "Hey, Kansas," and everybody's looking at them like, "We're in Kansas City, Missouri." You know,
Oh,
so it's happened before, like 1,000 times. Trust me, you ain't the
got
first
you.
one, and you won't be the last. But yeah, we most definitely can talk about that. So before I get you off here, I got a couple questions for you. Number
Yeah.
one, um, what have you learned in your musical journey? What's the most important thing that you've learned going through this musical journey that you've been through so far?
Oh man. So I have this quote that I got from my mother, from Mama C.
Let me
Um,
see.
Mama C for the win, and it's served me in every part of my life. And that is, if y'all don't have a Mama C, this is Mama C's quote to you: is if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Mm-hmm. I heard that one before.
Yeah. She said that since I was 8 years old. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. It's like, because you have these big dreamers, these big pie in the sky. I'm a dreamer, like pie in the sky, and so many people take advantage of that.
Yeah,
And man, does it hurt when they take advantage of that, and they take advantage of your dreams, like
yeah.
your hopes and your
Your
desires,
heart.
your heart. Yeah, everything that you want, and it's a awful thing, right? So, and it
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately exists a lot in the music industry, on all ends.
Yeah.
Sync, record, management. I mean,
Mhm.
every
All of them.
all
Yeah.
facets, all facets in
Yeah.
the, especially in the music industry. And the other thing I've learned is what's it's a very common quote, but it's like, believe half of what you see and only whatever of what you hear.
Yeah.
Basically, I I don't believe, I'm an independent thinker,
Mm-hmm.
and that served me well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
only
Which
believe,
is good.
yeah, I only believe half of what I hear at all times,
Yeah.
and then, I believe what I see or what I experience rather than just listening and taking someone's word. There's so many people who are they're so easy to try to block someone's blessings
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they didn't fall in line exactly how they wanted them to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, and I keep that in mind. That's happened to me several times. So if someone comes to me and I'm hearing little whisperings, I choose to just listen, and I hear
Mm-hmm.
you, but like, I'm going to have my own experience with that person. They could be my best friend.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that served me really well in all facets of the music industry.
That's some good knowledge right there. And we've all experienced the burn, like you
Mm-hmm.
said with the first quote. I
Yep.
remember I've been out of music and entertainment for a very long time. I took a nice hiatus,
Good for you.
got back in. I know, right? Got back in
Congratulations.
it, and yeah, right, yeah, and it was a good break. At the time, it was a lot of discouragement back in the early 2000s, but the crazy thing was is when I got back in, it was like I was fresh meat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew like this dude ain't been in this type of environment for a very long time. Take
Right.
advantage of him. And it was like all I wanted to do was learn how things were going now, how things,
Mm-hmm.
go now versus how they used to go. CDs and tapes gone. New stuff, digital platform, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and they were taking advantage every time they got a chance. And I will
man.
admit, for that first year, I would say 2019 to 2021, that year and a half, oh man, I lost so much money by
Oh, I'm sorry.
exactly what you just said. Everybody was, if they seen me, they was like, here's fresh meat, let's get them.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And I
we've
learned, I
all
took my bumps.
we have, God, I've fallen for the stupidest stuff, dude. Like, things that I'm like, Brianna, if anyone else came
Hmm.
up to you and said that they were gonna do that, you would have been like, that is so stupid, don't do that. Like, that's damaging, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not gonna
Yeah.
you're not coming up from that one, right? And like, I would take the bump anyways, because why? I'm a dreamer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna roll the dice every single time. I'm gonna take the L if I have to. Like, that's just
take a risk. You got to take a risk.
I was like, you're gonna roll that dice every single day. And I posted on my LinkedIn maybe like a week and a half ago, and I literally said my life is on max bet right now. Like, my whole life is on max bet. And a lot of people were like, what does that mean? And I'm like,
yeah, you rolling you what's that line at the casino? Yeah, you on that line. You put all your chips on that one line.
I got and I'm not a very lucky person.
Yeah, trust me, we've all lost money that way.
I just work really hard, but I'm not a very lucky person. I'm like, you know, it's funny. Like, I tell everyone, like, I'm blessed and highly favored, but like the crazy part is that my life is literally on max bet. So my other thing that I've learned, and I'll leave you with 3, is that it's never just like people talk about having a child. Like, you're never ready. Like, you're never going to be ready for what you want, right? Like, people are like, oh, I want to have a baby, but not right now, right? Me and my husband have chosen not to have a biological. We plan on adopting.
Right.
Okay. So it's like, you'll never really be ready. And so it applies to the music and like doing what you love full time. If you put all your eggs in that basket and you believe and you work, even if you come out bankrupt, you still won.
Yeah.
You still won. You still tried. You'll never be ready. And then next time you'll get it. Like, next time, there will always be a next time. It's next while you got breath in your lungs. So even if it, you know, I could get on LinkedIn and be like, y'all, it didn't work out, you know, but you got to stay with a positive mindset. You'll never be ready. Like, I kept saying my whole majority of my adult life, I can't afford to be a full-time musician. I can't afford to just do music. I would tell people all the time, and I was miserable. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, like 9 years of being a social media strategist for corporations who just like,
they burn you. It keeps changing.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, it keeps changing every day. I couldn't make anyone happy because it was changing every day, and then and then they were very happy when it was a great day, and then it's like, I just want to do music. I just want to make music and get paid for it. Like, that's all I want to do. That's it. If I have to be creative to do it, it's like when I was laid off from my job in August 3rd of last year. It was actually my client / job. And I was with them for 7 years. 7 years I was stable because of them in business. Wow. And when it was ripped underneath, that same week, I flew out to Hollywood with like $200 in Hollywood?
In
Hollywood. And I won a Hollywood Independent Music Award on the red carpet that night, like 2 days later. And they were like, what does this award mean to you? And I was like, you have no idea.
Right. This is a sign right here. Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, this is serendipity on crack, because I had a lot of different things I had to pay for, and I had a savings account. So but I only had $200 for that trip. You know, it wasn't the $200 to my last name, but it was it was $200 for that trip, and I had no business going, is what I'm saying. Like, I had no business keeping that trip.
But you took a risk.
Yeah.
You know, you took a risk. Lastly, I would ask, for viewers that will be watching this, where can they find you at? Let's say they're interested in not only bringing you to their city, but they might want to join one of the camps. How can they find you online?
Yep. So it's Brianna _Shelko on all channels. But the best way, if you want to attend a camp or contact us to bring a camp to your city, is just go to levelupmusicproductions with an S.com, and you'll see camp area, and you can see that we have a Las Vegas camp 10/19 and an Austin, Texas camp December 7th, and then that's a wrap for this year. And the reason, and that's gonna be the easiest way to get in touch. But I also just want to drop a little nugget since I have you here. But I haven't even, you're the first person to know. Like, I really haven't announced anything yet, but I solidified with the team before I got on the phone with you. So we are throwing a virtual conference on August 3rd called Level Up SyncCon. And some heavy hitters are going to be there. All proceeds are getting donated to our nonprofit in hopes that we get to bring our camp to India next March. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's a fundraiser / really educational, like crazy topics that have never been talked about, in sync, things that like like. So I just wanted to let
Yeah.
you know, and
Well, that's dope. And honestly, keep me posted on that because I'm just getting ready to sign roughly around 4 new artists from Africa, and I would love for them to attend that camp. So yeah, just keep me posted on that. That's
yeah,
something that
we
most
also have
definitely.
some contacts, and I mean, we're still working on fund. If we get the funding, we're going to Lagos, Nigeria. But
Oh, really? Well, we
um,
really need to talk because
yeah,
that's
it's
where
like
three of my artists are from.
yeah.
That's where they are right now. So
My team really wants to go, and there's like a really special reason that we're gonna actually go experience Holi, the holy holiday,
yeah,
the Festival
yeah.
of Colors in March in India. So
Oh man,
that's
that's nice.
yeah. So we're trying to get we're trying to fundraise, but we're trying to do it in a way where people walk away with value. It's not just, hey, will you just donate your money? It's like, let us give you some really cool stuff from some heavy
Yeah.
hitters.
Okay. Well, yeah. Like I said, keep me posted. For the viewers that tuned in and that will be tuning in, this Brianna, just to let you know, this will be rebroadcasted on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Um, for the viewers, make sure you go to Brianna Shelko on Google or Level Up Music Productions if you want to get a hold of her. Like I said, get a hold of her now because she's hot. It's like a fresh pizza right now. They're very, very hot. I see a lot of what they're doing, and I can only imagine what's going to go on in at the end of this year and then going into 2025. So you might want to jump on the bandwagon now. But yeah,
That's what we tell. That's what we're telling people. Thank you, Nate, because we're like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
once we get, we're always gonna make time for people, but it's a lot easier right now. So
Right, right. Yeah. So, well, thank you again, Brianna. We will talk soon, most definitely about the other things. But like
okay,
I said, I know it's a Friday. I appreciate your time.
of course,
Um, and thanks for the viewers who have tuned in and who will be tuning in. Thank you again, also, Brianna, for being a part of Women in Entertainment. This series is
absolutely,
this series is going to be going on probably all summer long and maybe even into next year. I really want to make sure I get as many voices as I can on this. So I appreciate your time. Tell Mama C I said thank you again because she's the one that hooked this up. And
absolutely.
yeah, you got anything else to say to the viewers before we leave?
I mean, don't. I know it's like cliche, but don't give up. Like, don't give up. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
If I'm the only person who told you this week, just keep going.
Just keep
It'll be all
going.
right.
Well, yeah, Brianna, thanks again. Enjoy your weekend, and we will talk soon, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
All right, peace.
Like a lonely road when I'm all alone. Just stay focused, stay in your zone, gotta keep control. You can't love nobody else if you can't love yourself. To change the future, be willing for single change yourself. I'm on a positive vibe. I got a positive vibe. Living positive vibe. From this positive vibe. In case I feel like quitting.